Now, some of y'all Christians out there might not like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. So buckle up and hold on tight because I have a few questions. Why are some men using the Bible to manipulate women? Are we going to talk about it or are we going to talk about it? Please watch this video to the entire end. It's going to be spicy. Buckle up, hold on tight. I got a treat for y'all. Knew your face. I will be right where you are. Welcome to my channel. Damn, let's look at. Welcome to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Welcome to my channel where I do reviews, commentary, comedy, music. I do it all. Why? Because it's my channel. Because it's my channel. So if you haven't done so already, put the bell button on for notifications to see what, who, me, moi, this chick right here. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. Now, this past week, we know that our fallen soldier, I'm being sarcastic, y'all. Our fallen soldier, Derrick Jaxn, the fake-ass relationship guru, got caught cheating. And we know the whole debacle that took place with him humiliating his wife and bringing her on Front Street with a bonnet on. Just, a lot of us knew. A lot of us that wasn't diehard Derrick Jaxn fans, we already knew. But it had me really thinking, like, I'm seeing it as a trend now, how some men are really using the Bible to manipulate women. We could take Derrick Jaxn, for example, Pastor John Gray. We could even go to Married at First Sight with Chris and Paige, okay? We could talk about that. I just take issue with that because it's a lot of turmoil that these guys are putting these women through. Right? And I'm just sitting here like, don't bring God in that mess. God ain't orchestrating that mess. No, submissive women are in the church, okay? Black women are capable of being submissive. Like, we are submissive. And I think that especially in the church, black women are taught to be submissive because it's biblical. There's nothing wrong with being submissive. But we need to be submissive to the right man, okay? But I feel like these F-boys go on, I want a submissive one, I want a submissive woman. I'm going to slide up in the church and I'm going to find me a good woman, right? But they go into the church, these narcissists and these F-boys, to use the Bible and use God to manipulate these submissive black women into putting up with their cheating ways, into putting up with their narcissism. And that's a problem for me. I'm finna say something that y'all might not like, but I personally feel like organized religion will be the death of a lot of black women. And I'm finna get into it. I feel like, yes, I've been cheated on. I have been cheated on before. Looking back on it, I'm like, girl, why did you stay? But I feel like it sets a different tone when you're a man of God. You're professing to be a man of God. I mean, we all fall short. We all fall short, okay? We all have issues, right? But when you are constantly, repeatedly treating your spouse, treating someone that you're supposed to love and honor and value, if you're constantly cheating on them, that's a pattern. That's a choice. And I'm having a hard time understanding. It's just the brainwashing for me. It's the brainwashing for me. The brainwashing for me. It's like these women, I've watched it. Derrick Jaxn's wife, John Gray's wife, Paige at Married First Sight with trash ass Chris. You watch the brainwashing, right? And I feel like these men also not only seek out super submissive women that put up with their crap, but they also seek out broken women, right? And it's like, I'm going to stay with him. Even though he cheated on me 50 times, 60 times, had an outside baby, humiliated me in front of the world, I'm going to stay with him. You want to know why? Because our relationship was ordained by God. God put us together. Let me tell you something. God gives us the gift of discernment, right? And God, y'all bringing God into this foolery, into this mess. God don't have his hands in no mess. And sometimes God reveals things to us so that we can flee. so that we can leave. We can leave those people behind. God doesn't want us to be hurt. God doesn't want us to be broken. Now, I'm not going to get all preachy. Okay, because I'm not finna be a hypocrite. Because I've done some things in my life. But I'm just saying, it really, really pisses me off. It was so heartbreaking to see Derrick Jaxn's wife sitting there in the worst, weirdest press conference I've ever seen in my entire life with sadness in her eyes. And it's like, he has been cheating on her for 12 years on and off. And she's talking about how she's going to forgive him and God. It looked like he was emotionally and manipulating the hell out of her. Like the hurt and the pain behind her eyes. It wasn't just the bonnet for me. It was the hurt and the pain behind those eyes. It was painful to watch. But all she could talk about is God. This is God, and he has to answer to God, and God this and God that. And you can tell he has literally used chapters and verses out the daggone Bible to get her to submit, even if it's to her own demise. You can tell the way he was holding her hand. And don't get me started on the pastor John Gray, who had the nerve to say, oh, my woman is going to cover me. My woman is going to cover me and pray for me while I grow up into a man. You is 40-something, maybe 50-something years old. Why is your woman covering you? Shouldn't you as a pastor, you as a man of God, shouldn't you be covering her? Let me tell you something, ladies. Black women, we are not a rehabilitation center for narcissists, for abusers. We are not a rehab facility. Okay? We are not a rehab facility. We're just not. It is time to break the chains in Jesus' name. Okay? Now, don't even get me started on Chris and Paige at Married at First Sight. They were supposed to have a Bible study. He was supposed to lead as the man of the household, as a husband. You are supposed to lead. And he gonna get there to the Bible study. What's that? He gonna get there to the Bible study talking about, well, what do you have? What chapters did you read? What did you study? Putting it on her as a woman to lead. And these marriages are ordained by God. Listen, nobody's marriage is perfect. Nobody's relationship is perfect. No individual is perfect. But if you are continuously hurting someone, one time you cheat, okay? That don't mean I'm going to personally forgive you, but one time you cheat. All right, 2 times, 3 times. How many times? It's a choice now. It ain't no, God forgive me. I want my wife to forgive me. I want the world to forgive me. It's a choice. You are absolutely choosing to emotionally and mentally, sometimes even physically, abuse your woman. And you are using God in the church, in the Bible, okay, as a scapegoat. Instead of you taking responsibilities and just saying, I'm not right. I'm foul. I'm absolutely foul for what I did. You want to pull verses out of your hat. I was going to say the A word. You're going to pull verses out your hat as the people supposed to feel bad for you. We see through you. We know you ain't shit. I know for a fact that this whole notion that black women cannot be submissive is trash. It's bullcrap. I grew up around women. My mother, my grandmother, for instance, heavy was Jehovah's Witnesses. Even being in the Kingdom Hall, I would see how the women are taught to be submissive, right? And the men are taught to lead, right? Because it's biblical. But I would literally see how certain women around me were getting abused, mentally and emotionally abused, will whip their woman's behind and then come to the Kingdom Hall as if nothing happened. As if nothing happened. These sisters will run to the elders, run to the pastors, run to people. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, he didn't cheat. Well, let's sit down and let's talk about it. What? Instead of telling that woman to leave, instead of helping that woman get help, because divorce is forbidden for whatever reason. And it's like, why does she have to endure that? What part of this thing called religion is it okay? Does God make it okay for a woman to be abused? It's just, it's the brainwashing for me. Okay? It's the brainwashing for me. There are many women that do leave, that do say, forget it, I'm out, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And kudos to them. If you're one of those women that have definitely left, kudos to you for leaving. I support you. I got your back, sis. But it's just really difficult to watch. And it's like, ladies, black women, sisters, we do not have to endure pain, and the worst kind of pain, to fall in love. And some of y'all be so eager to just have a man, have a piece of a man. Y'all hanging on to a damn piece of his drawers, the hem of his damn Hanes drawers. Y'all hanging on to it. He's not your husband if he's not acting like your husband, and if he's not doing husband duties. That's not your husband. That's just a title, honey. If he's abusing you and he's not doing what he's supposed to do, holding up his end of the bargain, that's not a husband. That's not a husband. That's not a friend. That's just somebody you shouldn't have in your life. Now, he could use the Bible and the Word of God all he wants, but it's doing nothing but manipulating you if he continuously hurts you. And that's on Purge. That's on Mary and in a Little Lamb. I can speak from experience because I was in an abusive relationship. And no, this man was not a man of God or anything like that. I was in a full-blown relationship with a narcissist. And once you come out of it, the PTSD that you actually go through, coming out of it, even while you're in it, and you don't see it till you come out of it, until you heal, until you're like, you're looking at your old self like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Oh my God, I wasted so many years. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that these men are trash. Men in the church could be trash. Men in charge of the church could be trash. Men outside of the church could be trash. Okay? If he's trash, he's trash. It doesn't mean whether it doesn't matter whether he got his Bible open and know from Genesis to Revelations. It does not matter. If he's trash, he is trash. And that's on period.
Think of, I yelled at him, I cussed at him, I called him out of his name, I left these things, and none of that was helpful. None of that was helpful, and it was hurtful. It caused more hurt, more pain, and more damage.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
And I don't want to cut you off. But I think in that time, even though I can appreciate you taking accountability for that and saying it wasn't helpful, I think it was justified to feel what you felt and express it in whatever way it came to you.
Definitely. I mean, you're talking about other women being with you.
Right.
Excuse my language, guys.
Right.
You're talking about that. You're talking about things that I have seen, pictures, videos that I had seen well before anything was ever leaked to the public. I have seen things, and yes, I acted on that anger. So this is not something that I just escaped from or didn't feel any type of way. Where I'm at now is only by the grace of God for delivering me from the hurt and the pain that came along with this behavior. And none of it is justifiable. There is no reason why any of this should have ever happened, not even in the marriage or before marriage. So that's where I'm at now. I actually have true peace, and that peace comes from God. The source and the source of my strength comes from God, not him, not what he does on YouTube, Instagram, or whatever. It doesn't come.
Y'all, this is exactly why I am spiritual and not religious, because spirituality would have made her aware of self and knowing that this kind of treatment is unacceptable. Okay? Being religious would have had her doing exactly what she's doing now, and that's sticking it out and trying to make it work. 12 years of cheating. Not me. Not ever. Anyway, Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, put the bell button on for more notifications. Thumbs up or thumbs down, it doesn't really matter, honey. Don't forget to comment. Thank you for watching.